American Pickers star Frank Fritz's Illinois store's new items from vintage typewriters to antique light fixtures. The star has introduced several discoveries to his growing collection, and the items have been captured on camera exclusively by the U.S. Sun. Some of the finds include typical antiques such as typewriters, cash registers, lamps, plates, vases, and picture frames. The antique cash register was covered in dust and rust so that one could hardly make out the numbers on the buttons. There was also a tapestry with an ornate portrait design stitched onto the front in beige tones. Other antiques were more unique and included vintage Coca-Cola bottles and a drum set. The drum set appeared to be in working condition and included a bass and 2 snares. His store also had several new large, heavy antique signs. One read Road Ranger and had a star design inset in between the 2 words. He also obtained a white, brimmed gentleman's hat and a pile of antique books, which appeared to be in relatively mint condition. While most of the objects appeared to still be on the market, some antiques were marked off with a Post-it note indicating the name of their new owner. Frank Fritz Finds is located in Savannah, Illinois. All of the American Pickers' Alum's new finds come after a source previously told the U.S. Sun there hadn't been a new item in the shop in years. There hasn't been a single new item in the store. An employee told me new antiques come in literally never, a source told the U.S. Sun in 2023. More recently, the U.S. Sun obtained photos of Frank's store in its run-down state. His shop was pictured cluttered with dead bugs, a peeling ceiling, and holes in the floor. The U.S. Sun has captured several photos of the worsening conditions of the shop since Frank's stroke. Back in January, an exclusive set of photos showed the wooden floorboard that was sinking into the ground. In November and August of 2023, photos highlighted stained and cloudy glass display cases. Frank was placed under a conservatorship after he suffered a debilitating stroke on July 14, 2022. His friends filed an emergency appointment of a temporary guardian and conservator for the star on August 18. Midwest-owned Bank is the conservator to handle Frank's financial affairs. The conservator previously filed a plan that revealed Frank's monthly expenses totaling $28,292. Additionally, the U.S. Sun reported his lawyer, Nate Legg, has recently requested $2,030 for his services. Frank's final American Pickers episode was in March 2020. He had taken time off from filming to recover from his back surgery, which left him with 185 stitches and 2 rods in his spine. During his time off the show, he also entered rehab for alcohol addiction for 77 days. Frank never returned to the show and has since been replaced by his 60-year-old co-star Mike Wolf's brother, Robbie, 57. The current cast of Season 25 includes Mike, 60, Danielle Colby, 48, and John Soleil, 60, also known as Jersey John. The small, unassuming storefront nestled in a quiet Illinois town could easily be overlooked by a casual passerby. But for enthusiasts of the unique, the historic, and the downright quirky, the store is nothing short of a treasure trove. This is Frank Fritz's shop, a haven for vintage lovers and antique collectors. Embodying the passion and expertise the American Pickers star has cultivated over decades in the field. Once inside, the atmosphere transports visitors to another time. The scent of aged wood and well-loved leather mingles with the faint tang of polished metal. Sunlight streaming through the windows bounces off countless treasures, each with its own story. Frank Fritz's flair for finding the extraordinary is on full display, and his latest collection is causing a buzz in the antique community. The typewriter renaissance. Front and center in the store is a display dedicated to vintage typewriters. Each piece is a marvel of engineering and design, showcasing the evolution of written communication. From the sleek 1920s Royal Quiet Deluxe with its glossy black finish to the rugged and reliable 1940s Underwood Model 6, these machines command attention. One typewriter, a Remington Noiseless Portable from the 1930s, stands out with its ivory keys and Art Deco embellishments. Frank explains its appeal to a group of curious visitors. This was the laptop of its time, you know. And the people who use these, journalists, authors, poets, this was their lifeline. You can almost feel the creativity that's passed through it. He's right, each scratch, dent and smudge seems to whisper tales of the past. For collectors, these typewriters are more than just decorative pieces. They're functional works of art, a leap to a time when every letter was a deliberate act. Illuminating history. Antique light fixtures. Across the room, a dazzling collection of antique light fixtures hangs from an intricately arranged grid. Each fixture is a masterpiece, reflecting the aesthetic sensibilities of its era. Crystal chandeliers from the Victorian age sparkle alongside mid-century modern pendant lights with their minimalist designs and bold colors. A particularly striking piece is a hand-forged wrought iron chandelier from the early 1900s. Its intricate floral patterns are painstakingly detailed, each petal seemingly alive with movement. Frank explains that it came from a theater that closed decades ago, its once glorious glow now restored to its original brilliance. Lighting is one of the easiest ways to set the mood in a space, Frank says, gesturing to a row of Tiffany-style table lamps. And these pieces, they don't just light up a room, they tell a story. Furniture with a past. Moving deeper into the store, visitors encounter an eclectic array of vintage furniture. Farmhouse tables weathered by years of family meals sit alongside sleek Art Deco armchairs upholstered in vibrant patterns. A 19th century oak roll-top desk draws particular admiration. Its countless cubbies and drawers, each with a brass pole, beckon to be explored. Frank points to a scratch along the desk's edge. That's not a flaw, that's character. Somebody leaned over this desk, maybe signing a deal or writing a letter home. It's lived a life. Nearby, a set of mid-century Danish teak chairs exudes timeless elegance. Their clean lines and ergonomic design make them a perfect fit for modern homes, proving that good design never goes out of style. Collectibles and curiosities. Frank's store is also a playground for collectors of smaller treasures. Shelves overflow with vintage cameras, classic advertising signs, and delicate porcelain figurines. A collection of vinyl records catches the eye. The album covers a kaleidoscope of music history. Among the curiosities is a 19th century stereoscope, complete with a stack of 3D photo cards. Visitors can't resist peering through the viewer, marveling at how this simple device brought distant worlds to life for its Victorian users. Frank grins as he demonstrates its use. It's the original virtual reality, he quips. Nostalgia in every corner. One of the store's most endearing qualities is its ability to evoke nostalgia. A vintage Coca-Cola vending machine hums quietly in the corner, its vibrant red paint still vivid after decades. A group of visitors gathers around a display of retro lunchboxes, exclaiming as they spot designs featuring their favorite childhood cartoons. It's not just about the items themselves, Frank explains. It's about the memories they bring back, the stories people share when they see something they had as a kid. A collector's dream. For serious collectors, Frank offers a selection of rare and high-value items. A restored 1950s gas pump, its chrome gleaming under the lights, is a showstopper. Nearby, an intricately carved cuckoo clock from Germany ticks softly, its craftsmanship a testament to old-world skill. These are the pieces you don't come across every day, Frank says. When I find something like this, it's like striking gold. More than a store, beyond the incredible inventory, what sets Frank Fritz's shop apart is the man himself. His passion for antiques is infectious, and his encyclopedic knowledge of history adds depth to every item. Customers don't just leave with a purchase. They leave with a story, a connection to the past. Frank has also made his store a community hub. Workshops on furniture restoration and appraising antiques are held regularly, attracting both seasoned collectors and curious newcomers. Local artists and craftspeople are invited to showcase their work, blending the old with the new. The hunt continues for Frank. The thrill of the hunt is never over. Every road trip and estate sale is an opportunity to uncover hidden gems, and his store is constantly evolving. What I love about this is that it's never the same, he says. One week, it's typewriters and light fixtures. Next week, who knows? That's what keeps it exciting. As visitors step back into the present, their arms laden with treasures, they can't help but feel a sense of gratitude. Frank Fritz's store isn't just a place to shop. It's a celebration of history, craftsmanship, and the enduring power of objects to connect us to the past. For those who enter, it's not just a store. It's an adventure.